Hi, I'm Emily from Bernina of Lincoln, and today we are going to be making a Barbie dress using things from the store and putting on a little Barbie fashion show. I'm going to be using a fat quarter from our display, and I'm color matching it to our thread collection, which is 20% off this month. And now I'll be using a pattern from Handmade Kids. It's their vintage Barbie doll dress. It was free online, and I'm just cutting that out on our mat. I'm using our Choco liners to help trace the pattern on. Um, right now I'm cutting that back piece for the bodice. I already cut out the skirt, and I'm going to flip over the fabric and cut only one layer of the front bodice because we only need one. Um, the really great thing about doing this project is I think so many sewers and quilters alike got their start sewing, Barbie dresses or doll dresses for themselves when they were younger. And I never got that chance. I was a little too old for Barbies by the time I started. But here I'm using our serger to do a rolled hem on the hem of the skirt. Um, I'm using an 850, mostly because that was the one that already had the thread, the right color that I wanted. Um, but we do have some awesome serger sales going on right now. Our 4 line, so our 450 and our 460 are both on sale. And right now I'm finishing off that serger chain. There are a couple ways you can do it, but I like to knot it off. It's a little hard to film and do at the same time, so sorry about that. But what I'm basically doing is I'm just tying it in a knot, and I'm trying to get it as close to the fabric as I actually can. Um, you can also take a wide-eyed needle and thread the chain through, back kind of through itself. Some people also serge off of the side once you're done. There's just a bunch of ways you can do it, and if you can see there, that's what that knot should kind of look like. Um, and now I'm going on to doing the neckline of the bodice pieces. And I'm using the 790 plus, which we actually have a really great deal on right now because we just got our 790 Pro in. It got announced at Bernina U. We also have a really great deal on our 880s. And if you would like to see the new 790 Pro, we do have one available to demo in the store. So just stop on by anytime and we'll be happy to show you it. And now I've just finished, wow. And now I finished top stitching the bodice pieces. I'm moving on to sewing the darts to the front of the bodice, and then attaching them at the sides. And big shout out to my coworker Tammy, who had this idea to do a cute little Barbie project and show off some of our sales. And big shout out to her for sewing the other Barbie dress you'll see later, because I really don't think I could do this twice. So many little seams. I really should have used a leader for this part so it doesn't get caught in the stitch plate, but I got pretty lucky here and I didn't have too many problems with it. But it's just something that I always really like to do when I'm piecing. And here I am finishing the bodice. I'm just trimming all of my seams and showing you how the darts look. And now I'm moving on to the skirt. I'm just going to take our stitch length and turn it all the way up to 6 so I can make some nice gathers on our skirt. I'm just doing a straight line right across the top, and then I'm going to go back and make another straight line. So when I gather it, it'll gather more easily. Um, and you can see I'm leaving a nice long tail for me to hold on to while I'm gathering. Don't want it to slip off the thread. And here we go with that second row. I'm doing them about a 1/4 inch apart. Um, this will just help gather the pleats more evenly, make it a little bit easier in case one of the threads breaks. And you'll see in a minute how I'm gathering. It's a little hard to film from the side of a sewing machine, so thank you for bearing with me. And that's Kathy in the back doing a great job. And there you see that gathering. I'm really just sliding it along the thread until it's about the length that I want. And there's another shot of how it should look. There's the inside. And now we're going to be attaching the bodice at the sides. And you can just see that finished little shell. Now we're moving on to making the armholes. I'm using the same rolled hem that I used for her skirt. And I'm just going around her armholes and leaving really long chains where I sew off so we can tie them together into little bows later. This would have been a lot easier if I'd been using the curved foot for the serger, which for both types of machine is actually on sale in store. I believe it's 20% off for both types. There is the finished armhole. There's me trying to show you it. Sorry, it's a little hard to see, but I just kind of stuck my pinky in where that armhole was and then tried to tie a bow around it. You should be able to see a better finished image in just a second. There we go. A little bit easier. And yeah, that's how the pattern calls for lace or trim. And now we're just going to move on to ironing our seams. I'm just making sure that all of our seams point towards the back, including our darts. And now I'm folding over the side seam, the back seams, to make sure they're all nice and flat and pressed for when we attach the snaps to the back. And if you see anything past my hands, there we go. And we're moving on to doing the same thing with the skirt. And I'm keeping those gathering threads in until I have attached the skirt to the bodice, which I will do in just a second. But in the meantime, I am just folding over that edge again to make sure it's nice and flat and out of the way. And that is the skirt and the bodice pinned together. That's it sewn together. And you can see those arms a little bit better there. And now I'm going to really struggle with pressing the seam where the bodice and the skirt are attached towards the skirt. It was kind of a challenge, but in the end it worked out. It turned out really cute. It was just all that gathering and all that, all that bulk. After this step, I did take out all that gathering thread because the pleats were now attached to the bodice and I didn't have to worry about them falling out. And I am using our Laura Star, which is really one of the best irons I've ever used in my life. And I love her. And here I am attaching the snaps to the back of the dress. You could use Velcro or hook and eyes, but this is just what I had on hand and I thought was easiest. I didn't go through I think I only went through each hole about twice, because this wasn't going to get a lot of wear. It's not like a real garment or a dress that somebody would be wearing. But I just, did about 2 in each hole, flipped it over, finished it, and then we got ready for the Barbie runway show. Thank you so much for watching and be sure to look out for our summer sales. Bye.